Ahoy hoy, it's your boy Attack Slug back once again with a games you should be playing. And today, we're going to take a look at a launch title for the GameCube from 2001 called Super Monkey Ball. One of the finest releases that Sega has ever put out, period. So we're just going to kind of get right into it here. I'm going to kind of talk over, as I am wont to do, a lot of this stuff. This is the first Super Monkey Ball, and the best Super Monkey Ball, period. The second one is still pretty good, and it was all kind of downhill from there. You'll have to excuse my change of venue here. My TV in the bedroom has some HDMI handshaking issues, so I had to move out here. This is an older game going through component cables, and we're gonna dive right in. This is post the area where Sega got out of the hardware business, so a lot of their games that were either arcade games or originally going to be Dreamcast games ended up on the GameCube and on the Xbox and on the PS2. And this was certainly one of them. This was originally an arcade title called Monkey Ball, and as an arcade game, it was very much defined by its simplicity and its depth within the simplicity. So you only have one control, and that is your analog stick. So the entire game is the analog stick, and you're not moving the monkey, you're moving the stage, and that will become apparent in some of the later stages. But that's it. You just move your control stick to get to the end of the stage. But obviously the stages get, more devious as the game goes on. This is back from a time when almost everything that was coming out from Sega was coming out from all their different internal studios, and it was pretty much all gold. It was pretty much all fantastic. But when they got bought by Sammy, a lot of that changed, and all those studios got conglomerated into one place, and you kind of lost track of who was making what. Every 5 floors you get a bonus floor, and every 100 bananas you get an extra life. Now, that's important for a couple of reasons. You have to play a whole lot of this game to unlock Infinite Continues, and Infinite Continues are good for learning the stages, but ideally, you don't want to die, because in the beginner and the advanced, if you don't die all the way through, you will get the extra stages. On hard, or on expert, if you don't continue, you will get. So earning those lives is important. Now here we have a shortcut, if I can do it. There are a couple of these scattered throughout that will allow me to skip stages, which, if you're trying to make it through advanced without dying, skipping stages is super important. And that brings us to another bonus stage. And yeah, so despite the problems that I have with current day Sega, and a lot of that is not so much on the games they're making, but on the games they're not localizing, like Phantasy Star Online 2 and Yakuza 5. This era of Sega was putting out just amazing stuff, and I didn't have a GameCube at launch, I didn't have a North American GameCube at launch. What ended up happening was I somehow missed the launch, or I didn't pre-order, or something. Obviously, my memories of 2001 are a bit hazy. Now, see here, you can make it a lot harder than you need to if you want the extra bananas and the lives. With me, I'm gonna go here on the widest one, and I kind of wasted too much time there. So 2001, for some reason I missed the GameCube launch, not really sure why. So what ended up happening was I went through National Console Support at some point that November or December and ordered an import GameCube that had a switch to modify it between US and Japan, which was fantastic. I had imported a bunch of games, because at that point the gap in games between Japan and the US was extensive, but this game was a launch game in this country, so it's one of those deals where I just bought a GameCube and I needed something to play, and I kind of just blind bought this, and it ended up being one of my favorite games of all time. So it worked out pretty well for me. Now, so here's what's going to show you that these are in tune to the stage. So you're not moving the monkey as much as you're moving the entire stage around the monkey. And from what I understand, that's a lot more apparent in the arcade game, but the arcade game never got released in this country, to my knowledge. So I never actually played the arcade game. But what I imagine is largely similar, and I just died there. So no advanced stages for us, or no extra stages. There are still stages in this game that, you know, I consider myself okay. You know, I'm not great, but I'm okay. The only way that I beat Expert was with Infinite Continues, and it's kind of, you know, mashing my face against it over and over again. So there are still stages in this game that I haven't seen, and that's if you beat Expert without continuing, you get to the extra stages, and if you beat those, then you get to the master stages, which I've only ever seen on YouTube, because I am not that good, and I don't have that kind of dexterity. Now, there are other versions of this game, particularly. There was a Super Monkey Ball Deluxe that came out on the Xbox and the PS2, and that was kind of an amalgamation of stages from 1 and 2, with some stages thrown in that were exclusive to that version of the game. Problem being, that version of the game not very good because of the controllers, not because of the game. Original Xbox and PS2 controllers have a pretty big dead zone in the center of their analog stick, which makes a game like this more difficult, if not downright impossible. The other big thing that set the GameCube apart with this controller is that there is an 8-way analog gate, which means that I can pick one of the 8 key directions, hold the analog stick in that direction, and it will lock in to that, which really helps with precision in this kind of game. So there's the analog gate there, and you can almost kind of see where that is. That's how this version of the game is pretty much the best version of the game, and we've never they haven't ever ported this to anything else. It's never been on, you know, it's never been HDified, and I kind of think it wouldn't work because you don't have that unless you're gonna port it to the Wii U, which lets you use the Wii controller, and the nunchuck has that gate. That's the only way that it would even be remotely possible to play properly. Now, obviously, difficulty is going to continue to ramp up. So what they took a very simple concept, which is get your monkey to the end of the stage, and a very simple control method, and basically made it all about precision. So a very small part of this is memorizing the level layout, and a much larger part of it is being able to execute on your knowledge and use your precision. So there's all kinds of stories when this game came out about how doctors who did like brain surgery were using this to hone their precision skills with their hands and whatnot, and that was kind of cool. So I might stop my advanced run here to show you the other parts of this game, because I don't want to have another half-an-hour video like I did with Spelunky, because you kind of, at this point, get the idea of what this game is. It's not super complicated. It's not, you know, going to take a lot of explaining to kind of show the appeal of why you should be playing Super Monkey Ball. But as I said, Super Monkey Ball 2 added some more gimmicks, and it's alright. But anything after 2 is just not... And I've played them all, and they're just not worth playing. It's just... the producers and the original team who worked on this, at a certain point, you know, moved on to other things and no longer worked on this. So Nagoshi moved on to Yakuza series, and he also did Binary Domain, which is fantastic, and is probably going to be the next game that I have in this series to take a look at. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. Hopefully this week, but we'll see. So yeah, there's a lot of just the dead zones in the other controllers for Xbox and PS2 would have made this much more difficult, because you're not going to get that analog precision that you need so desperately to make this game work. And this one, you just kind of want to do that. And like, there are a couple stages where you just want to go for it, and if you hesitate, you can do it. Like this one has a very specific turn this way and then just shoot across. But if you don't know that, there are other ways to do it that are certainly more difficult. And that was a run through of Advanced. I did die once, so I'm not going to get the extra stages, which is a shame. But my high score, I kind of didn't ever want to beat my high score. He's free of his prison. He's free. My high score is 1337, and I can't, like, I don't want to replace that. I said it's too fucking perfect. But obviously he wants me to say, oh, just try and beat it. Come on, play more of this. This game has a playable credits, which I'm not going to do, but I will show you a little bit of. So if you actually want to play the credits for a high score, we'll just have a whole bunch of bananas, and the credits will fall, and you can collect the credits, which is neat. You know, it's a thing you'll do like once or twice, but I'm gonna say hey and skip that. Real quick, I will show the expert stage, which is considered the stage that kind of most people, when they play this game, is where they kind of stop playing. So it kind of separated the men from the boys due to one specific part of that stage, or at least everyone that I've talked to who's played Super Monkey Ball pretty specifically had a problem with that part. So I'm going to go into practice mode here and show that real quick. It is Expert 7. This is the stage where most people would have torn their hair out and said, you know what, I'm good, I've played enough, Super Monkey Ball is kicking my ass. And it is very specifically the second ramp here. So this one's fine, that's why you just hold up. But right here, this right here, because of how steep it is, and then you gotta stop right away, that ramp, tremendous pain in the ass. And then of course, you know, the rest of the stage, not particularly a cakewalk either. And I'm just gonna fall here because I haven't played this in a number of years, so I am certainly out of practice. We're gonna exit that. The other thing that this game was good for, that they really doubled down on in the sequels, was the mini games and the party games. These were fantastic. We had Race, Fight, and Target. Of course, the one that everybody played, you know, Fight and Race, and Monkey Target. The original Monkey Target is considered one of the best multiplayer experiences on the GameCube, period. We're just gonna roll in here with everything turned on and play a round or two to show you how that goes. This is great if you had some friends over. Do 4 players, do pass and play, and the goal here... balls. The goal here is to get your monkey onto the platform to get points. And, you know, whoever gets the most points at the end of the rounds is going to win. So you would shoot down here real quick, launch into the air, deploy with A, fly over to here, and then close. And hopefully you would get 100, but I got 50. But it's still pretty good. It's still not bad at all. And then your little dude's going to do his little dance, and, you know, he's pretty pleased about it. And there are 3 different stages that you can do. But kind of the first stage is, you know, like everyone that I played with, they liked the first stage a whole lot, and the second 2 stages, not so much, because they just made them much more difficult. And I misplaced bananas, but whatever. So this one, I'm probably going to end up going into a bomb and getting launched off the... I don't know, actually made 20. It's not bad. All things considered, it's not bad. And of course, the third one, they're much tinier islands, and that kind of sucks. bombs? No, alright, clear, save. Alright, and then you can get an item. And I'm gonna say, no wind, because the wind is randomized and can totally mess you up. So, we're gonna fly here. There's gonna be a thing this way. I am gonna totally just overshoot this somehow or end up going into the water. Nope, yeah, into the water. Alright, so that's Monkey Target. Super addictive. You have a couple of friends and a couple of drinks and have a good time with it. But in addition to that, there were also mini games, which you had billiards, bowling, and golf. Golf and billiards, kind of standard. What I played a whole lot of with my friends was monkey bowling, and this kind of predates for me the party bowling game before Wii Sports Bowling, and more or less it was being able to know when to do this, put a little spin on the ball, and hopefully hit between those first two. Nope. But he's happy, so I guess I'm happy. But yeah, being able to nail the timing of this is kind of a pain in the ass. So we're gonna do that, put a little bit of spin on it, and hopefully pick up a spare here. Maybe? Yeah, alright. So that's Monkey Bowling. I spent many hours playing Monkey Bowling and had an awesome time with it. So we're gonna exit this. That's pretty much Super Monkey Ball. So you have, a couple of modes and a couple of different things you can do. For its time, it was fantastic. I still think it is an awful lot of fun. And it is certainly one of my games that you should be playing. The unfortunate part is it's never gotten any kind of a re-release. So if you have a Wii, obviously you can play GameCube games on the Wii, but you would need a GameCube controller and a memory card. Or obviously if you still have a GameCube, which I totally do, but for me it was easier to hook up the Wii to my capture equipment. And that is this installment of You Should Be Playing Super Monkey Ball.